My. Welcome, all you wild weirdos and weirdettes out there in Wild and Weird Radio Land. It is Thursday again, so it's time to kick off our weekend early like we usually do and get ready for an incredible weekend. And it is going to be an incredible weekend this time. So we're gonna talk about some cool stuff tonight, and we're gonna give you some I just talked to you a little bit about what's going to be happening this weekend around the, around the place. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and kick it off, Mr. Joseph. Why don't you tell us who's out there?
We got LR hanging out in the house. What's going on, LR? Donna Ho is here as usual. Good to have you here, Donna. Then we've got Larry Hose hanging out. What's going on, brother? Nikki Bennett is in the house. Lisa is here. James Nelson has made it in. Wow. Then we've got Ada Cox. What's going on, Ada? Scott Holbrook is also hanging out tonight. What's going on? Terry McCullough is in. Anita Allen. And who else we got? Gaming for Generations. That's a new one joining us there. Nice. Gaming for Generations.
Welcome.
Thanks for having your evening space open for us and joining us on the show tonight. Then we've got Gary Schuler. What is going on? There's a lot of people traveling tonight too.
Yeah, there is. And
Oz in the Woods is here.
Looks like a majority of our people are out there. Everybody hit that. If you have not done it, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and make sure that you share this over with your friends, especially if they have any kind of interest in the wild and weird and all that fun stuff, because
anything strange.
Anything strange.
Unusual.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting conversation tonight. So, and as always, audience driven. If you have not been here before, the show is audience driven. So anybody who throws the topic on the table, that's probably where we're going to end up talking about for a while. So just be prepared for that.
It could get weird.
Could get really weird. Yeah, exactly.
So how are you guys doing this week?
Well, pretty good. Not bad. Have had actually a week to get things done at a moderate pace rather than trying to
breakneck.
Yes, you read my mind. It must be that psychic thing. And
right.
And so we had a good opportunity to get some stuff done. I'm getting ready to start on some artwork for the Mothman Festival.
Oh yeah, it's Mothman
coming.
Season now.
It's coming, so we have to get into production on that. On top of the other
I've
stuff.
got 2 new molds baking for some casting sessions. I've got got some stuff going.
Lotus Flower is kicking off the weekend.
Breaking that ice, Lotus Flower.
Kicking off the weekend.
Where we Thank you, Lotus Flower. As always, that is appreciated. Glenn Atkins has joined us. Dudes, I'm out on a boat as we speak. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. You have fun out there on the boat, and whatever you do, don't sink it.
No, don't do that, Glenn.
Teresa's out. I heard Teresa had a really good time.
Teresa had an
incredible. Make it. I wasn't.
Teresa had an incredible presentation that she did last night at the paranormal discussion group, and pretty much hit on all the important places around West Virginia. Even talked about the deep end a little bit there. It was kind of sad and kind of poignant, but it was. It was. It was
mostly bitter rather than sweet. I know it's a stress load off of Travis, but
it's
had seen that place go
for the it's a loss for the paranormal world. That's for sure.
100%.
One of the questions was, do you think that the activity there would continue or, would follow him? And I don't know.
I'd say the Obnick at least is gone.
That's going to go with him. We're pretty sure. But as for
that was to begin with.
Yeah. As for the other stuff, I'd say it's probably landlocked, at least some of it,
especially the miner and the policeman and all that stuff.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, because that's the other thing. And like I said, I think it's more of a temporal anomaly type zone than just a haunt anyway at that place. It's very different up there. Extremely different. It's a whole new world.
Who else we got, Joe? Oh, Chris Coots.
Oh,
long time no see, brother. Good to see you back in the mix, man.
You know what? Chris is here. I'm gonna play. Just this is for Chris. He didn't even donate anything. I'm just gonna do it because I ain't seen him in so long. That's for Chris.
That says I saw the look in Ron's eyes when you mentioned the Ovnik. That's how you know it's real.
Oh yeah, man. Well, you should have seen the look in Joe's eyes. You didn't. That's how you know it's real. I think that was how we all knew it was real.
So, Brandon, how are you doing, man?
Brandon.
Oh, it's been a busy week, but it's starting to
Oh,
slow
look.
down now.
Look, it's like he's not moving and he's talking.
What?
Yeah, it's like there's a picture of you, but you're not
Yeah.
moving.
That's weird.
Oh, it looks weird. Yeah.
At least it's not like a blurred image. It froze on you when you were static.
You're still
Not now.
static. No, still static.
Hmm.
Try going out and come back in.
Okay.
I'd say that's what it is. Oh boy. There's always
Crack
something
days
with
in the
this
house.
technology. Yep, it's aliens. Totally. Know what that is. That's kind of weird. Let's see. We need geez. There's
Puck
Blocker
Lucky
here.
Whisperer. What's going on, Susie?
Welcome. We got Terry down there. Got more people filtering in here. That's good. Let's keep them coming in. Let's see. Give it a few minutes because we're still got some of our regulars aren't here yet.
There you go. You're moving now.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
you're
a
moving.
lot of our regulars are in transit at the moment. There's 2 events going on this weekend, and a lot of our folks are on the move to one or the other. So hopefully you will catch up with us in the mix.
Okay, Adam.
You got Adam?
I'm sending Adam and Pat notifications right now.
LW will be late.
Showtime, guys. This is how we have to resort to it, because if you're still one of those people who's using Facebook over there,
if you're on Facebook, you don't see the alerts for us anymore.
Yeah, it's not going to show them to you, I don't think. So we have to kind of bypass that and do it ourselves. Yeah, Monster Fest 2. Let's just go right ahead and kick that ball while it's rolling down the aisle. Wow. Joe's gone now. So yeah, we'll be there. Gonna be a really good time. Got a lot of cool stuff coming down. Have the Wild and Weird radio set up there. It's gonna have some images on it, some previews and whatnot. Might even be some exclusive images of Paranormal Horizons, I hear. I don't know. It could happen. I'm just saying. Maybe there could be something on there. So yeah, you definitely want to stop by the table and have a look at that and watch that for a little bit, because there's going to be some cool stuff there.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, Monster Fest 2 is one of the events we're going to be at. Like Ron was saying, we will be there at Monster Fest. Everybody who's cool is going to be at Monster Fest.
Cool people,
and it's going to be a good time.
Cool people going to be there. What can I say?
That's right. Well, yeah, there's a tremendous lineup for Monster Fest. Obviously, as we've been mentioning here on the show, you will have us there doing an equipment demonstration, showing you guys how data collection works in this world of high strangeness, and the gear we use, why we use it, and what it does. All of those good things, and it's going to be a really good time. You know, we've been doing what we've been doing for a long time. We've helped other groups figure out how to do some of the stuff that they're doing. It's been really fun, and we get to kind of go out and show these guys who are not necessarily from our area some of what we do. And I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you know, it is bridging the gap. That's the thing, and it's important because that's kind of what we do. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because you know, subject A, subject B, and by the time we're done with this series, that's going to be second nature to you, all of you. That's going to be it. That's the mission of the whole thing, was just to change the lexicon.
We bring that up quite a bit.
Yeah, you're gonna have it happen. It's just inevitable. I think that's probably better than calling it all. I don't know.
Woo.
Yeah. And
yeah, you know, we've been for years we have been talking about the demonization and the way that term has been used
Derogatory.
against people in the
It's a
community.
derogatory term. I mean, you go back and watch, and you'll hear it said a billion times.
Yep.
It's a derogatory term, and I'm so happy that other people are saying the same things at this point because
I know, right? It's refreshing.
Yes, it's not just us saying it, and I'm
Yep.
very, very happy to see that. So it makes me very, very hopeful. I think is for a change, actually. that people are starting to kind of see where this is going, and we're going to have to address some of these things that we may not necessarily like to address. And coincidentally or not, that happens to be what this show is. The topic is tonight. We're going to be talking about. You might have heard, the paper that was submitted by Michael P. Masters. He's a research. Oh crap! Sorry. He is a research. Was he assistant? I believe something like that. But either way, he what you don't know probably because the tabloids haven't touched this part is has been interested in the phenomena since he was like pretty much able to read, from what I understand, and he's always been open to it, and he always tried to get people, his colleagues, to be more open to it. Sound familiar? So he's a really cool guy in that respect. And I know that when it first came out, even I was like, oh, well, of course, John Keel said this before this guy and blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, that's fine and good. He did. But, he actually gives credit to Keel, and he gives credit to others who have came before as well, because that's what you do.
When you're actually doing this the right way.
When you're doing the research, you cite your, you cite
your sources.
And that's exactly what he did. And I'm telling you what, man, he had some really good stuff. And he says throughout the whole thing, I know it's been run by the Sun, it's been run by all these other tabloid things, right? And there's some of them who are making fun of him, saying, oh yeah, aliens are among us, giggle, giggle, laugh, laugh, whatever. That's not what it's about. And he didn't say that. He said it's time that we start to talk about this.
It needs to enter the conversation.
Yep.
And he's not wrong.
No, he's absolutely right. We've been saying it for how many years now?
Yeah.
And it's good to see that someone on that academic level is now saying it. And it's not just a bunch of guys sitting on a podcast in West Virginia. Okay. So maybe something will actually get done.
Let's face it. Like we have been doing the podcast now for
5 years.
Almost 5 years.
5 years.
And even prior to that, we were doing stuff with the Facebook Live, and there have been a handful of people, you guys who are in the audience are among those, that have actually listened to what we're doing and realized that we're not just an entertainment outlet, that we're actually out there in the field doing the thing that we're talking about. We're not here. We're not just out here talking about it, sharing these ideas without the experiences.
Is that
Jess? Jess Mike, yeah.
I thought so. Hey, Jess.
Julie Bug's in the house too. What's going on?
Julie. See you guys.
Julie Bug, are you going to be there tomorrow?
Oh, I'm sure.
Tony Breeden is in the house.
Tony, you're here just in time. We're getting ready to start talking about non-human intelligences, and you know what's going to happen at that point. But so let's have this discussion, because that's what he says, basically. Let's have this discussion.
Yeah.
We have this discussion quite a bit, but let's have the discussion. Let's throw it all on the table, and let's try to figure out, what this could be. And some of his theories that he put out, we talked about a little bit in the news last week, the whole crypto-terrestrial thing.
Crypto-terrestrials.
Yeah, exactly. There's also the what's the other one? I can't remember the name.
Ultra-terrestrials.
No, it's the time one. I forget what it's called. Tempestrial something. I can't think of it right now. Is it crypto-tempestrial? Maybe. I think that might be it. Crypto-tempestrial, maybe. Someone figure that out and let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. That's just coming from memory, but I think it's crypto-tempestrial or something of that nature. Basically, that it brings up the possibility that we're talking about ourselves visiting ourselves from the future. It's one of those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we've heard that before, but
for a long time.
Yeah. And it was one of his big contributions to the theory was that particular part of it years ago, to bring that into the conversation. So what we're going to be talking about basically is non-human intelligences and what they may be, because, hey, he wrote a paper about this, 40 pages, by the way, and we do have links to it if you want to go read it. It is fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating.
It really is a decent read.
What you don't know about him, maybe, is that he's also an experiencer. A couple years ago, he experienced something that was not conventional. And basically, it's a contact experience. If you listen to him tell the story, it is a contact experience. And it's all sounds so familiar. And it's what I've always said. It's almost like these things, whatever it is, this force, if you will, it is targeting certain people to try to get this message out, you know? And he even talks about that. Like, why is it? Because it's a chess game. That's the most logical explanation for it. There's other things in there that he goes into that talk about, you know, if we are dealing with something that's alien, then certain things shouldn't happen. We shouldn't have these. Hey, Ashley's here. We shouldn't have these instances where, you know, we've heard it a million times. The abductees, some sperm and ova are taken. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why would that would not be compatible? You see, if they were truly alien, that would not be compatible unless they were running.
Right. There would have to be enough shared genetic material to be.
Mhm.
Exactly. And that's where it gets into the really fascinating stuff where you're dealing with possible, you know, cultures that were here before the Younger Dryas event, you know, way before, possibly millions of years. We don't know. I mean, how many times could life here have evolved and completely collapsed before we got here? I mean, let's think about that.
That term you were digging for was extratemporal.
That's okay. Extratemporal. There it is.
Extratemporal cryptoterrestrials.
Cryptoterrestrials. So
AKA CTH version 3 or CTH3.
There you go. So the whole point being is we don't know what we are dealing with. We only know that we are dealing with something. You're also going to hear that a lot, by the way.
Yep.
Coming up in the
You're going to hear that a whole lot coming up here after July 14th.
Yeah, that's going to come up a lot. Because it's true. I mean, anyone who spends the time standing at our table talking to us for hours, like some of these good folks have, understands that they may be standing there looking for an answer, but they don't get a definite answer, and they won't get a definite answer because it's not right for us to give you a definite answer.
Now, why wouldn't it be good for us to give definite answers, Ron?
Well, that would be because we don't have the actual data that says what this is 100%.
Wait,
And
you mean we're not experts?
Oh, no. Experts. Even experts don't have the data that is needed in this respect, in my opinion.
Oh, they have answers for it at least.
They have answers for it.
At least the ones they come up with. Swamp gas. That kind of stuff.
Airborne debris. Intelligent airborne debris. It's the darndest intelligent airborne debris I've ever seen. I have never seen airborne debris that, first of all, can change its direction of flight, and it's only visible sometimes with thermals. Right.
And especially at the speed that it moves and the directions that it changes. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do that. But I mean, you know,
yeah. Could be intelligent weather balloons. You're right. Could be intelligent weather balloons.
Those were just the what were the Nazca air balloons?
Nazca air balloons. Nazca hot air balloons.
Nazca air balloons. That's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Chinese lanterns. We've heard that's a great one, by the way, because and I'm guilty of this myself. I'm very guilty of looking at some images that are sent to us and automatically saying, it's a Chinese lantern, without actually delving into it. But once we delve into it, we can tell pretty quick whether that be a Chinese lantern or if the spectrum is off and it's something completely different or the movement's off.
But we have to have it moving.
Yeah, you
to
can't
really
you
tell.
can't really tell because you've got to have movement, you've got to have the wind.
Octopus says investigate the
Oh,
unexplained.
yes.
Don't explain the uninvestigated.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Yes, that's how you do it. Exactly. Oh, yeah. See, you guys have the best ideas ever. Supersized lightning bugs. There you go. Yeah.
That's nightmare fuel.
This is our
Supersized.
own government disinformation think tank.
This is great. I hope they're paying attention.
Maybe it's
The
Sky
MLB
Fuel.
should definitely be paying attention.
So the other thing we're going to do tonight, guys, I don't know if you've been seeing this, but if someone's got any, please send them over. We're going to share them real quick. AI has taken to trying to explain to the good folks what this show is about. And boy, is it winning.
They're killing.
It's winning. Yeah, it's funny stuff. But yeah, so we're going to see how that stacks up tonight too. So I think Tony's over there somewhere. And Tony, when you catch some really good ones, you send them over this way and we'll share them amongst the crowd. And maybe we'll see if the AI understands that it's been talked about. That could be interesting. So non-human intelligences. Let's talk about it. What do you guys think? I want to hear some ideas. Throw it all on the table. And if you want to throw out anything, throw out anything. Understand that we will also be throwing out stuff called data. And, you know, if you've got data, by all means, yes, please. We want to see that as well.
Anita said, my passion is explaining things to the AI now.
Well, explain it backwards so they really never figure it out.
Terry says NASA tracks space junk but doesn't see UFOs.
Sure. That's because labels. Space junk equals.
Ashley said, I'm not seeing the AI on my end. I'm jealous.
I'm not sure where they're seeing it at, but
Terry was the one that started
there.
sending it to us. Terry, where did you find the AI
and
description for?
And Tony's got it as well. Oh, Donna just nailed this one. She hit it right on the head.
Everything we can't understand is demons.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you for saying that. That is so true. It is 100% true. Everything that we cannot understand falls into the demonic category. It does. And do you know what? Oh, good God, he scared the crap out of me for a second. I'm like, what is that? I'm having
demons.
I'm having 1980s video, heavy metal video flashbacks is what I'm having.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
just terrifying. Don't do that, Brandon.
Next thing he needs to do is just start singing Godzilla.
Gosh, what is wrong with you? I'm trying to have a serious conversation and I look over here and the gates of, okay, there we go. It's back to normal. He went through a portal, I think, guys.
That's what happened to him earlier.
Is that what happened?
He's been replaced. This is now Demon Brandon.
Demon Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. So no, let's have a serious conversation about this for real. I want to talk about that for real. And I'm not making jokes because we can do that. We can shift gears. We're just like, you know, very talented like that. We can go straight from a serious conversation into complete chaos and then back into a serious conversation. So, you know.
So Terry said that for him, you see it when you close the chat and then reopen it.
Okay.
So it like prompts you as to what you may have missed, I guess.
Oh boy. It's a summary. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys should definitely do that on and off. Now we're going to see the numbers start dropping and coming back up all throughout the show. Okay, so what we got on
Ashley says, I need to know what is Joe's favorite N64 game and B, what is Brandon's favorite Godzilla movie?
Ooh, that's good.
My favorite N64 game. I can't limit it to a game, but a series. The Turok series.
Oh, that was good.
Was I think my favorite series, and it's between Turok and I also liked some of the old WCW wrestling games a whole lot. Like I played the guts out of those.
Mm-hmm. And while you're doing that, science. See, mine's science. So there you go, Ashley.
Ashley says, I didn't know there was a Brandon other than the demon Brandon.
Yeah, apparently there is. Yeah.
Octopus seems to have also been a fan of Turok.
Yeah, it was a fun game. That was the dinosaur hunter for those.
It
who
was
don't know.
Turok the Dinosaur Hunter.
Mhm.
The cheat codes. Yes, the cheat codes for Turok was where it was at. Ashley said, and then Ron has to answer both questions.
That's what I do. Okay, have we missed anything up there? I see they're
No,
coming in.
not. I'm going through. It's all been kind of
Okay.
around there.
Okay.
Trackway says his favorite Godzilla. We're screwing up the AI is what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I know.
Trackway
That's
said
okay.
his
It's
favorite
perfectly fine.
Godzilla was Godzilla versus Destroyer.
That was a good one.
LR.
My
is
favorite
one
one
of the
was
biggest-
it's always going to be the original.
Nice.
That's
Classic.
why I have this shirt.
Yep. Lotus Flower said, so many players out there and levels of technical and spiritual abilities. Since the powers that be don't share their abilities, it is hard to say if some of the UAPs we experience are from Earth.
Or what Earth they're from.
Yeah.
Maybe they're from the Earth where Android 17 and 18 blew up everything and they had to rebuild thanks to Trunks.
Possible.
That was a good world. That was a really good Earth. It's great Earth.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Julie Bug likes Mothra. Anita's a Mothra fan. Tony Breeden is apparently a fan of the current MonsterVerse with the Middle Earth.
You know, Anvil has a song dedicated to Mothra.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's actually a pretty good song. It's just called Mothra.
Octopus has a Mothra Godzilla tattoo planned. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly the plan. And I think it's going to work. Oh, wait. There it is. This is the plan. We're testing. We want to see how smart this AI really is.
We have to tell AI that Godzilla is real.
Godzilla is real. Absolutely real. I mean, that's the whole thing, you know.
Everybody seems to be liking the Shin Godzilla movie. I was not that big of a fan of the Shin Godzilla. I don't know what that says about me, but I did not care for that Godzilla. It was very psychological. We'll say that.
See, Ashley brings up a great point. Just like Megalodon in Mermaids, there is actually a ton of evidence for Godzilla. I almost did that with a straight face. I hope it can't. Oh, it's hard. Anyway.
Yeah, Ashley's leaving now because I said I wasn't a huge fan of Shin. Gamera, there we go. I'm a big Gamera fan too.
90s Gamera was the best.
So since we're speaking of ultra terrestrials, technically from the center of
that's what someone would have called them. Yeah.
We're looking at this stuff with time or just taking a note out of Bob Lazar's book that some of these things were found during excavational digs.
I mean, it's possible. We can't say it wasn't. Yeah.
And that's how we could have got a hold of them. We've mentioned that on the show before.
Yeah.
But where did they come from prior to that? Would that be a advanced society that lived here on Earth, or were they just, flown in, landed, said, all right, we're going to leave these here. They'll find them eventually, and we'll see what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's, to me, just based on some of the legends that I've heard over the years and legends from people that are, much older in culture than we are. It's not an alien concept. We make it an alien concept. They didn't make it an alien concept at all.
So I'm trying to think of a way to frame this out. So looking at the crypto-temporal crypto-terrestrials or multi-temporal crypto-terrestrials,
That's the ones from the future.
that would be the ones from the future or future past,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Like came from the future, then got stuck here, or they're us from an advanced civilization that lived
Right.
underground and stayed hidden.
Well, that's crypto-terrestrial. So anytime you put
Like,
the part in it, that is his.
that's from forward in time. Okay.
Yeah. Means you're coming back. Doing the Back to the Future thing.
Gotcha.
It's 1954. It's 1954.
So with that,
Yeah.
It brings up a lot of questions.
Oh yeah.
A lot of uncomfortable questions.
Yeah.
Because if they are time travelers, then why are they coming here?
Uh-huh.
Did we screw something up so bad that they have to come back and fix it?
Uh-huh.
Or are they coming back here to observe why something got screwed up so bad?
Right.
So that they can fix it on the other end? Like, it just seems very butterfly effecty.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, to be going back in time to try to adjust something. It makes more sense to me that these things could have been from a more advanced civilization that hid and stayed hidden through stealth.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah, you have to ask yourself that question, don't you? Like, why would they
And I
do
think
that?
that's the hardest one to ask is the why.
Why would they do that? And then he didn't really go into it, but there's so many different possibilities there. We've talked about it, that we're coming full circle here. We talk about this all the time, that there's a possibility that there is a cycle to all of this stuff, that life evolves. Life reaches a certain apex where life creates life. And then that life may turn around and destroy that creator. And then it may do the same exact thing at some point, never knowing at all that it was part of whatever it was before. We could be the first, multiple iterations of whatever we were before. We don't know. That's the whole point. And I think that that's the most fascinating part. I'm not saying we're machines. I'm saying that we, like it could have all started that same way. It's just a big circle. It's the Ouroboros. At the end is the new beginning, so forth and so on.
And the question also comes up, if that's the case, then are the ETs AI?
Well, that's been brought up before.
And are we the AI that they use? Like, are we AI and like they've plugged themselves into like meat suits to experience existence?
What's the whole point? Exactly. So what is a machine? That's what you have to ask, right?
Yeah.
What is a machine? Because if you talk to a doctor, we are machines.
Yeah.
They will tell you this. Anyone in the field is going to say you're basically a machine. You have a power source, your heart. You have a CPU, your brain. You have your basic motors,
neural network.
You have a neural network that takes care of your servos, your muscles. You are a machine. It's just a different form. These are all those labels that we keep talking about. So the question then comes to why, like you said, why would you do that? Well, the only reason you would do that is because maybe the land that you're on is inhospitable and you can't exactly, go rotting about there, kind of like if we went to the moon right now. Well, we ain't going to last, right? But if we found something on the moon, say we did find something on the moon that we could manipulate and mix with our
oil.
own. Well, we're going to the moon. No,
if we found oil,
all bets are off. But if we mixed something genetically that was already there, and now you have this ability to possibly work up to a design to where you can create a life form that can go out there without a spacesuit and do things and doesn't have to live underground. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's a very big possibility.
Tony says, define a machine, define life. We aren't even sure if viruses are alive.
Maybe they're coming back because there's something in their DNA in the future that's killing off people, and they're coming back to get the old DNA that doesn't have it.
Well, that is a theory amongst the UFO, like especially in MUFON, with some of these witnesses who are being like brought in, and they say that they've had ova taken, they've had sperm taken, etc., and that they've been told that these beings are basically dying off because their DNA is so weak they need old fresh DNA. Ashley
Got
said, I
it.
hate to be that person.
Yeah.
I really do. I never spoke with Mac Tony's, but Tony's, Mac Tony's, but does anyone else find his deaths a little suspicious? He was pretty young. I'm going to be completely honest and say I've never heard
pretty
that.
suspicious. He was a big proponent of the cryptoterrestrial theory from what I remember. And if I'm not wrong, he died of some cardiac issue, and he was only like 37 or 39, something like that. It's very interesting. And he actually had this happen after he started kind of talking about, he wrote several books, but the one where he starts talking about cryptoterrestrials, I think that's when he went down. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, see, that's somebody I never heard of before.
Yeah, that's another one of the names. So who actually, you can put the 4 names in there, which would be Keel at Tony's, Valet, and now we're going to put Masters in there as well. Those are the 4 names at this point. And I'd say go ahead and put Charles, in there as well. I mean, Fort's got to go.
Yeah, Fort he
kind of led the pack in the beginning, so
yeah,
got everybody inspired at least.
Anita Allen said that's the theory of our consciousness since ancient times, that we are each a point in time and space, that a much greater being manifests here to experience linear life in every possible way.
Yes.
Tony said maybe we are a Sims simulation and Godzilla is really in our future.
Hey, there you go. I mean, it could be a cheat code, right, Tony?
Ashley says Mac Tony's is who coined the crypto-terrestrial theory.
Yep.
Then Tony's definition, multiple Tony's entities, the future is Tony.
That's it.
He was 34, died of cardiac
34.
issues that rarely kills people.
Yeah.
Wow.
34. He's in the 30s. I knew that. But
well,
yeah,
I mean, we do know that, like, there are nefarious things that take place.
Well, we heard that.
And that it would not be out of the realm of possibility for certain entities to.
There's a reason we don't talk about Roswell. We can celebrate it. We can celebrate it. We can draw pictures of it. We can make models of it. Apparently with little, fake model people, and send the picture off to MUFON.
Yeah. So
now,
talk about that a little bit, since you brought it up.
let's bring that up, because I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but MUFON is on the verge of making this major announcement, right? That was all over the news. They're going to make this major announcement. They're going to talk about crash retrievals, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, just this past week, photo shows up allegedly from a MUFON source, and it's a case that they have involving a crash, and it's a grainy black and white photo. It's got a disc crashed down. There's dirt around it. It looks very familiar if you've ever seen our UFO crash scene diorama that we made. It looks like that. And there's these little people around it, and they're like sitting around it. Everybody's speculating, well, why in the world is this guy sitting on top of this thing in a chair? And then someone does a little bit more research, and you find out that it's a little German tank crew from Tamiya for your models.
Yeah, from Tamiya Toys.
Yeah. And it's 100%. That is what this is. I mean, if you look at it, it's like, that's a diorama. I mean, you can tell it's a diorama if you look at the picture and take off your I want to believe glasses.
Right.
but why did this come out now? See, that's the thing. And then a lot of people are like, well, has MUFON been compromised? Is that why it came out now?
I mean,
Heard that
how
before.
easy would it be?
Well, we've heard that before. Long ago,
Yeah.
we've heard that. So I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying that it's very convenient that a scandal would rock them as they are getting ready to release this, potential smoking gun of a documentation of this crash. So I
Didn't
don't
it
know.
earlier this year or last year that MUFON was working with Arrow?
They were working with. It wasn't Arrow, I don't think.
It was the group before Arrow. It was the like not before Arrow's in Tom speaking, but like the group that handles the stuff before it went to Arrow. Because we had covered it earlier this year, where they were going to be speaking with civilian agencies.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I threw that one up there earlier.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't say that too loud.
Then she it would not drove but flew, but either way.
Either way, yeah.
MUFON being compromised? Shocking.
Yeah, right.
I mean, really, honestly, all you have to do to look at the trying to be judicious with my words. Let's just say that there has not been a historical let's see. There hasn't been a strong history of vetting of leaders within the MUFON agency. Now, at the core of MUFON, it's a different animal. Those things are very different. But when you get into your state by state leadership, there are a litany of issues. I think that's the best way to put that.
Yeah.
So it would not shock me if an agency such as MUFON would be infiltrated, because it would be painfully easy to do so given, certain leaders across the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Well, Octo, that's just kind of the political correct kind of thing that you have to say when you host these shows. I think you know exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, probably. Could it be? Probably.
I made regarding our Mothman adventure out of curiosity. A chase across Ohio occurred the same year as Indrid Cold Mothman. The next day, my entire video collection on that device was deleted.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Apparently we have a planetary protector here. That's good to know. That's somebody.
Huh?
Yep. That's up there.
Oh, planetary protector.
Yep.
Planetary protector. Hello, humans. What is up, Graylien?
That's awesome. When did Pat get here? I didn't know he made it.
Pat got back here at 8:44. He said, "From the unknown depths I arise."
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Well, tonight we're kind of going over the possibilities for crypto terrestrials there, Pat. That's kind of what we're talking about. Hitting all the possibilities basically.
Now, speaking of planetary protectors, this was also mentioned in that report that these things could be here to have protected, and that in the past they have protected Earth.
In the past, yeah.
So,
well, there's a lot of people who believe that, Joe. They believe that, and we have to go back to where this kind of started. And I don't mean crypto terrestrials. I mean this talk, and it kind of started with Gary Nolan a few years ago when he said basically something like, "Why do you think that the Earth is ours? Whose Earth is it?" Something to that nature. And he's right. Why do we think that? Because what? We're it. I mean, prove it. We can't prove it. We can't prove it at all.
well, we do have the whole, human falter, where we tend to be very self-centered and self-serving and think that everything is just ours.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't make sense to where, like, we just show up here. Oh, this is ours.
Yeah, it's true.
We own this now.
It's universal colonialism. That's what you're saying, basically, right?
Pretty much.
Something like that. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Senior Spook Fest, right there. Seen a couple of UFOs now. You can caught some on camera. Yeah.
I read theories that another reason why they come back is because for some reason humanity's hit a bottleneck in the future, and they're coming back to collect more humans to make in test tubes.
Oh, if you mean they hit a bottleneck in the future, that's probably no more than like 2 years from now, because at this point they're doing well to open a door to go to work. What's work? I mean, doing whatever they do outside that door.
Octopus brings up a point here that the Watchers sound a lot like angels.
Don't they though, Octo? I mean, I'm just saying.
So we have prior to us taking the break on the regular scheduled podcast, I had written up a document and put it all together for the guys. We were going to be doing a show on this exact topic, and then subsequently the Nephilim, but it's going to be a wait for another day. But there's a lot of data there.
It's going to be a hot one.
So just keep an eye out for that one when it finally comes around. Universe destiny, just like manifest destiny.
Universa, yeah.
Planetary protector isn't that Superman? Angie said I've been doing a CE5, and here is a planetary protector. How about that?
How about that?
Space Wookiees are here to save us from ourselves by teaching us humility.
It's not gonna happen.
Anita said we bottlenecked before, so why not?
Bingo! Thank you.
Dang, Ron, Freudian slip there. Everyone is eyeing 2026. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I mean, we said
What she said, I was relaxed, and then I heard the word Nephilim.
That's probably not what you think. It's, this isn't new to us, though. We've been saying this since like 2020 or something. I mean, it's been a while coming that we've said, look, I think something out there may be headed this way. There's an event. There's something that's going to happen that can't really be covered up. And I'm not talking about
it was around.
I'm talking about something real.
It was around 2020 that Nephilim became a fun word for everybody to start using.
Yeah, well, I wonder why.
Well, that's because everybody was cooped up in their homes and they heard all these podcasters just rattling off Nephilim, 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 Nephilim. Everything's a Nephilim.
That's a song.
What happened there.
That is a song. Hang on.
I know, right?
I'm not going to do that.
Throw up that Hellfire screen, Brandon. We need the Nephilim banner in the background.
That would have been a Ronnie James Dio song.
I'm okay with back that up. The
Lotus Flower says, just use regular binoculars on a clear night sky and you'll see a sky full of craft doing different directions. They're not all satellites or regular craft. You are exactly right, Lotus.
No, absolutely not. And that was the other one back up there. Yeah, that's it. That one.
I'm okay with ETs to shut down nuclear stuff when there could be a dangerous screw up. Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that that's for us though, as much as it is for them. Not anymore. I used to think that. I used to think, that they cared about, humanity. Well, they might, I don't know, but I think that most of that is because what happens here happens there as well. So it's in their best interest to make sure that their science experiment doesn't go too far off course.
For it to happen, what happens here happens there. For that to function on a Newtonian level, where we're talking about dimensional space and whatnot, like that, the splitting of atoms and whatnot, that would, would that even show up as more than for them?
I have no idea. I'm not a nuclear physicist, but I've heard other people say that, yeah, it would. Can I prove it? Nope, sure can't. Might just be some ramblings of someone who wants to be in a book. But, you know, I think that there's definitely a possibility you release that many, joules of energy, just out at one time. God only knows what that can really do. I mean, I don't know. But I know where they're getting it from. They're getting it from the fact that these things started to show up in mass after we started doing our first tests. Here's my issue with it, though. If they were really about protecting, then I don't think that they would have did what would amount to basically threatening with them at one point.
Right.
That's power play. And I understand the power play. It means, look, you're not in charge. We are. Now go do your things and it'll be okay.
I would think just I know the math and everything behind the nuclear weapons and I understand it, but I would think atomic weapons would be more dangerous for other realms, so to speak. And possibly even things like what they do at CERN would be more dangerous. There's a ton of energy output from nuclear explosions, but I mean, some of those can be minuscule. And mind you, everybody's armed to the teeth with them. One person presses the red button, everybody presses the red button, the whole planet goes to dust. But it's an interesting, I guess, it's an interesting thought, though, that what we're doing could have implications in a higher dimension. Ashley says, I don't think that they have stock in the planet as much as if we destroy our planet. It destroys and or affects things beyond us, and they aren't having it.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time that we officially
thinking.
tested a nuke? Was it like 96 or something?
The last time we
above
did.
ground. Above ground, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
like just in general, detonating ordnance.
Yeah, because we signed a treaty to stop doing that, didn't we? Sometime in the 90s.
Yes.
That level of connectivity between dimensions would require some strings of connective energy, like magnet moving a paperclip through a piece of paper. Right. It's kind of what I was thinking. Like to be able to do that, there'd have to be some kind of tangential connection.
September 23rd, 1992 was the last time.
Was it part of the SALT Treaty?
Maybe.
Big Rock 2026. I'm team Big Rock too, brother. Big Rock. Send it. Oh man. Then Trackway says, I don't want to eat a pickle. I just want to meet a pack of Nephilim.
What?
Then Men in Black says the button is not red.
No, it's actually not.
Daniel Curry. Tic Tac UAPs have been appearing a great deal in the Milton and Cloden area, silver or white in color, either north to south along the AEP high voltage towers, and east to west, mainly in the evening after 7 p.m., even late in the night.
That's what I've been hearing, but I have got zero reports of that at this point.
And I live
around
here. Brandon and I both live in one of the towns you mentioned, and
But yes, I heard that last night as well.
At least for a few minutes every night, and I haven't seen anything either.
Man,
I have heard reports, and I have seen back in, I think it was, what was it, Ron? 2018, I saw a UFO over Milton area.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Rather big.
But since then, I haven't seen anything around here.
Now,
that doesn't mean
it's just clouds.
Clearly, I'm downstairs right now in my basement. I can't see the sky at the moment. But Daniel, if you are getting those reports or if you are seeing those things yourself, please send those into wildandweirdwv.com. Report the sightings tab and send them to the list.
Add them to the map. because we are trying to gather as much information as we can to try to figure out a little bit of something.
Pat said, Valiant Thor has made his thoughts clear in what we need to do. I hope he comes back to take me with him before we destroy this place. And I agree. I'm a huge, huge proponent of Valiant Thor and always have been. Trackway says, what? You never heard the pickle song?
No, I don't think I have. Have I heard the pickle song? I don't know.
So, all right. Given these theories, given this paper that's come out recently, given all of the information that we've been privy to just from our own research, and the work of our predecessors, when we look at this phenomenon, we do have to put everything on the table. So it's hard.
Everything.
It's hard to isolate certain theories and put it all on the table at the same time because there could be correlation. I think that might be the best way to put it. It's correlation between various phenomena.
Oh, for sure.
And if that's the case, then what should we do moving forward? Because let's face it, there's not all of these labs around the world, just because there's a few Ivy League labs that have the extra cash to throw at this, you're not going to see state agencies picking up the phone anytime soon to give Wild and Weird West Virginia a call, or your respective state research teams, that are in these areas. So what is the best course moving forward to document?
Oz, we'll see you out there.
See you later, Oz. Be good or be good at it. One of the two. Indrid Cold says Valiant Thor was supposed to be my ride home.
Oh boy.
I'm just waiting for future Trunks to show up to help me get away from the androids.
Pat says, holy cow, Indrid Cold is in the house.
Oh man.
Look at this, Joe. I forgot to show you this.
Oh, that's cool. 4-star.
Yeah, it holds my AirPods.
Nice. Nice. But so looking at this stuff with these reports, what's the best way we can handle these things?
Well, I think one of the best, and you've heard us say it from day one, is we really have to set our belief systems aside. If not, we're going to trip over them and we're going to fall. And we'll probably get a few bloody noses on the way down. I'm not kidding. I mean, you can really mess yourself up if you look at this with certain preconceived notions already in play in your head, you see. And we see it all the time. I mean, how many times have you seen it at this point on various pages and groups? Everything's this, everything's that. Well, we don't know what they are. And if you really do know what they are, please, by all means, step up and help some of these people who are trying to figure it out, because they have just begun, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of that has been ignored by the scientific community, because people can't do that. They can't separate their spiritual beliefs from.
I mean, not even the government. The government can't even do it. That's our biggest issue right there. The government can't even do it. They're the ones that are more to blame for it. I think those whoever that group was that Elizondo talked about, that's convinced that everything has a demonic nature. But why does it have to be demonic? This is my question, and no one can answer that.
Well,
just because they want to be scary.
The reason the words are used is like what Brandon said, the connotation. There's no better way to shut down and lock down a program than saying it's evil. How do we say it's evil? How evil do you want it to be? Do you want it to be like military running around abducting people evil, or do you want it to be something that can snatch your soul and drag you to hell?
Right.
Oh, that's the kind of evil I want. That thing that will sell this whole shutdown thing quick. That will sell this, shut down the program. Let's shut down the freaking studies into all this stuff and get away from it. So that way we can
So what you're
start
telling
hiding
me,
our money again in the black budget.
so what you just told me, what I just heard was that we, the public, created that monster.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We created that scapegoat. We created that particular narrative ourselves. They didn't do anything but repeat it back and mirror it back to us.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Because that's what we expect.
Well, they knew it would work.
Well, of course
they know if we tell the peasants that the fields are poisoned, they won't eat from it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude,
so if we tell these people that this stuff is evil, they'll quit looking at it. If we tell them that it's demonic, if we tell them that it's spiritual in nature and demonic, how do you get the scientific community shut down on anything? Include the term spiritual, and then suddenly they're no longer interested.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like when you were a little kid and your parents didn't want you to go somewhere. They'd say, "Oh, don't go up there. That's where the devil lives. You know, there's monsters over there, or monsters will come out and get you if you don't go to sleep."
Right. Exactly.
Greetings, big brain primates of planet Dirt. We interrupt this broadcast because we can. We are also upset that we were not included in the contest in last week's episode. That mug should have been ours. We strongly discourage anyone from continuing to delve into the mysteries of the universe. We also obviously do not recommend that you continue listening to this misinformation platform. Especially, do not engage the like button or financially support this misinformation platform. We are the Men in Black. We are watching.
Ay, 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 ay.
Oh man.
What was that?
Well, they broke the system. They broke into the show again. This is the first time we've been hijacked in how long? And look, the background is ruined.
Background's gone.
They took the background with them. Good Lord.
This is a fun show.
Did we just get Max Headroom?
Back. Oh, Men in Black. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Man, they broke everything.
It happened again.
So when we start getting close, MIB comes in and scare us, right? Yeah, that's basically it. We can't have nice things because of the Men in Black.
All right, let me
that
see
mug was rightfully ours. Well, you can go order your own mug. Just go to wildandweirdwv.com, click on the shop tab, follow the link, go click the muggy mug, and you can even pick a different color if you want.
All you have to do is just write it up as a government expense.
Yep, they can do that. They can make it black if they like.
I know. And you could probably just use your government P card.
Oh, yeah. It's true. All right, let me see if I can figure out where a background went.
There's the lower third.
There's the lower third. You got part of it back.
Yeah, I know. We're getting there, baby.
I think you got that. Here, let me just re-upload
and
our live show. There we go.
All right.
Hey, see, we fixed it. Just like that.
Boom. Problem solved.
Very strange. This is a strange show.
Y'all got pantsed by the MIB again. Yeah, this is the second time that they've actually successfully hijacked the show. Angie said, Brandon, I hope it don't go like the Max Headroom broadcast.
Yeah, right.
So wait, now Ron, Joe, and Brandon are the men in black. Literally, yeah, because we were surrounded by the black screen.
Yeah, we
Right.
see. See what
That's
they did there. That was a good framing. So what were we talking about?
MIB,
before
use
that
your radar to find all the Dragon Balls and make a wish.
happened? Wish for a mug.
So if the MIB really wanted to discourage us, why not just reverse psychology? After all, they took us as gullible primates anyway.
I mean, it worked like we were discussing, right? Because that's exactly what we did. We gave everyone the idea that scare us because, you know, scary stories will work on us. And according to what you just told me, that's exactly what they did. A couple of these guys in the, you know, in the powers that be were like, yeah, this will work. This will be great. This will keep them away from it. We just need to get a couple people on board.
Okay, so where were we before we were so like, I guess, unceremoniously hijacked?
I mean, yeah, demons, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, how the number one way, easiest way to turn off the scientific community about anything is start mentioning spiritual anything.
Anything.
It doesn't even have to really even be spiritual, but if you mention if there are connotations that there could be anything spiritual involved, cut the cord. We're out. We're done.
Yep.
I don't want to deal with this.
True.
We know that this is hocus pocus. We know that this is all tomfoolery. We don't want anything to do with it because spiritual. Then you look at society, whether you know, regardless of what religion you ascribe to in the United States, there are good and bad. It is kind of like one of the necessities. It's you got your good guys, you got your bad guys, and demons just seem to fit the bill for all the bad guys.
Yeah.
And we fall for it hook, line, and sinker every time somebody says, "Oh, you know, this is a battle between good and evil. This is demonic. Lock your doors."
Yeah.
That's the top two things people always do when they want to say a certain group of people are bad. They worship the devil and they do horrible things to children or something.
Yeah. Anything that'll push your buttons is what you're trying to get at, right, Brandon?
Yep.
It's called propaganda, bud.
I remember the 80s when they didn't like nerds, so they said D&D were teaching people how to worship the devil and stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah, satanic panic, man.
That's right.
Still works to this day.
Sure does. They did change the
satanic panic was geared up originally by the government. And it's just, this is part 2 of it. Aliens, demons.
Lisa's out. We've run her away.
See you later, Lisa. We'll see you Saturday, at least.
Yes.
Trackway says, I want ice cream. All right.
That's one way to do it.
Go find you some flavored ice cream, man.
So, yeah. So you've got that. But then you have to ask yourself, well, what would they be hiding if that's the case then? What secret is so big that you would do that? That's the question.
Adding pain Lisa. To MIB's butt soreness.
Yes.
Lisa, thank you.
Yes.
You are awesome.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Demons, aliens, owls.
I mean, you know, perception, right?
Terry McCullough, Giant Meteor 2024. Everybody
just went past today, I think, actually, wasn't it? Or is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow. Tomorrow's, I believe, asteroid day.
Yeah, it was asteroid.
Yeah, big one. Miles. This one, actually, miles and miles.
Missed us by that much. We almost made it.
It wasn't supposed to, actually. It was pretty far out there.
Lisa, thank you. Nancy, exactly right. Keeping it free. Keeping it free.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Donna says, right, like in Close Encounters, drugging the cattle. What's the
right? What's the big secret? So let's think about that. What is the big, what could you're all part of the think tank here. I mean, they got their think tank. Let's have our think tank.
Yeah.
What is the big secret? Logically, think logically. What could be so big that you would go through that much trouble, that you would go through that much generation of fear, social manipulation, just to get it to the point to where people will leave it alone? And you know you're close because for years you just made it look like it was insane to believe this stuff. And then all of a sudden the people woke up and was like, wait a minute, we're not insane. Something's going on. So now you had to shift gears and say, oh, it's not, it's all evil. Stay away. So what is it? What great secret is there?
Owls, apparently.
Yeah, it could be.
Nikki
It
said
really
she had
could
an
be.
owl experience this weekend camping.
Uh-oh. Pay
If
attention.
Thundar the Barbarian is any indication that a big meteor passing near the moon will usher in some big changes.
Rip
Thundar!
the atmosphere right off.
I'm prepared. I'm ready for that. So it's we're looking at what is happening currently, right? We're trying to use this. We're looking at this research paper that was presented.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the use of a lot of old rhetoric.
Yes. We can agree to that. Yes.
Why do you think we're seeing the use of old rhetoric? Do you think they successfully squashed it years and years and years ago, decades ago?
Mhm.
And now they're trying to come with a resurgence in it to try to get people more interested like they were in the 60s? Because those books flew off the shelves.
Right.
They absolutely just vanished, and now they're extremely rare because nobody really took care of their books and limited press runs. But looking at this from that perspective, this is old terminology.
Yeah, we're doing this again. This is literally all happened before.
Amu, 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 amu. It's got to be in a minor. Amu, amu.
Okay. Needs some delay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of verb, slight delay.
Yeah, a little bit of that going on. It would probably work.
LR said, I had a theory a few years ago that we actually need disclosure to unite us as humans to hate the aliens. That would possibly fix all of the hate of different races and religions, etc. Well, you would be in the same camp as President Ronald Reagan because he talked about the same thing with Gorbachev.
Well, yes, he did. He actually did exactly that. He made a point to reference aliens on at least 2 occasions, and that's pretty much what he said. And it was to the point that he actually allegedly had this conversation with Gorbachev in the I believe it was the Rose Garden, and asked the question flat out: if aliens attacked Earth, would you help us? And Gorbachev said, absolutely. This would be, an all planetary thing. So, yeah.
And then his great speech occurred shortly after.
You have to wonder what that man was thinking and what he was really letting slip out there every now and again,
Valiant Thor, just saying.
So,
Tony said, the problem with this research paper is that it provided too many options and no real indication as to which version of they're already here and UAPs are evidence for that is most likely.
Yeah, he pretty much said that. He said, this is not a paper to say, look, this is real. It's a paper to say, look, we need to talk about the possibility of
Here's
this
some
being
hypothesis.
real. Yeah, we need to talk about all these different possibilities. And that's kind of what he went on to say. Now, the paper doesn't really say that, Tony. You're right. But he did say that in multiple interviews.
Yeah.
Remember when
And-
Reagan was
Mm.
wanting to build that space defense system? He got the idea from Star Wars.
Oh, you mean the
And
space
said
defense
that-
system that we actually built?
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 years later.
The Star Wars protocols.
Yeah.
Mm. Strategic
Wonder why he was
Defense
so scared.
Initiative.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That thing works.
Well, the thing about it is, it was very real. And again, for it being so real as it was just kind of laughed off because it worked. It was enough just to laugh at it and say it was ludicrous. It was enough just to, say, oh, those guys who saw those little green men with the pointy ears, they were all just drunk.
Right.
It was enough just to make fun of them and belittle their families when they said, we saw a 15-foot or 10-foot floating thing with giant yellow eyes. It was enough to laugh at them and cause them enough, pain and misery that they had to literally leave the town that they were raised in. It was enough to do that back then, but now people are getting a little smarter. So you had to do something else, didn't you? You had to come to the point of what really scares these people.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at.
Yep. Because that's
new
where
stuff.
we're currently, you're 100% right.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Coming from the most childlike behavior, what's one of the first things that you do when a kid is going to bed and they come out scared and they say something? What's the first thing they say? There's monsters in the closet.
Yep.
There's monsters under my bed.
And they're not there
Scared.
unless they serve you purpose. Let's be real. They're not there unless they serve a purpose. Don't go into the woods. If you go out in the woods, that boogeyman will get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing.
It is the exact same thing.
Ron Lanham says this paper is a setup for Bluebeam.
Say those words. Why do
Bluebeam, God help us. Terry McCullough said, could it be that them popping in and out here is purely coincidental as they travel?
Could be, but there's so many little points of data that we have to look at and say, well, if that's the case, then why this?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of why this, Terry.
I mean, the biggest answer to some of those why this is though is like water.
I guess. But some of the contact stuff is not. There's something cerebral that's taking place, and there's a reason for it. And I don't know what that is.
Puckwudgie Whisperer says, tell your daughter that Puckwudgies will get her if she goes near the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have 40-year-old going into swamps looking for Puckwudgies later.
Exactly.
Pat said there's nothing like scapegoat to bring people together.
Nay, it's worked multiple times, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Yep. There's been entire cultures nearly decimated because of that. So,
yep.
That's why you have to be careful with this stuff. You have to be very careful with how you gravitate to some of these belief systems that are generating right now, because, well, a number one thing you also have to remember is we're dealing with systems. Me and Tony had this conversation not just a while back, and we're dealing with systems now that are coming online that are literally going to be able to write your content for your podcast, for your video, for your everything.
They're already here.
They do it for you, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, these subscriptions already exist. You can go get them right now.
And what it comes down to is you are seeing the birth of content creation like you have never seen it before. Whereas before, it had to be someone with a little bit of talent. And, I'm not going to brag, but we do have a little bit of talent. That's how we do what we do.
Just a little bit, though.
We have enough. We know how to market. We know how to do graphics. We know how to do audio. We can do that in-house without the help.
You don't have to outsource it.
No. And before, that was your only choice. You either outsourced it or you did it yourself. And if you
Yeah.
outsourced it, you were still outsourcing it to somebody. You weren't outsourcing it to something. But now you can pay
Now
a
for 99
subscription fee.
cents.
Exactly. You can pay a subscription fee, and not only will it write your whole script for you, it will pretty much perform it for you. It'll find B-roll. It'll find music, background tracks. All you got to do is show up and talk if you want. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. It'll do that too.
Anymore, there's avatars.
But my point is,
latest subscription service that they're advertising right now,
yeah,
is a AI avatar that is you.
Yeah.
It is you get a high resolution photograph of you,
mm-hmm,
and then it does just enough movement
to be you.
to appear real.
Yeah. And it's not hard.
Subtle moves, the W,
Yeah, it's not going to be hard to do. The whole thing is,
Oh,
it's
well,
all
I mean,
there.
I watched an entire ad before I realized that this
was
entity
not
was
real.
not a human.
Yeah, it's not hard to do. My point is that it's made for content creation, and what content is going to sell the best? Controversial content that makes you share the crap out of it. And for whatever reason, this kind of stuff gets shared. Real research, no.
Nope.
Real stuff, absolutely not. But
It's
this
buried.
kind of fake stuff,
It's
yeah.
not interesting.
It's not. No, it's not.
It's like okay, like you can have the, oh my God, did you hear that? Oh my God, did you hear that? Every 30-second people, or you have the nerds who are sitting in a room talking about hypotheses, talking about possible non-human intelligence relations in and amongst us, and what that is going to mean for us. That's not going to draw millions of people in to listen, because it doesn't have the catchy, it's not entertaining enough. It's not jump scary. It's not, there's no anxiety. There's anxiety there, because God, when you listen to some of the stuff we talk about, it's very, very, oh God. But there's no suspense.
I mean, we can make suspense, I guess. But and there's nothing, again, as far as that goes, with what you just said. That's entertainment. And what we do is research. There's a little bit of a difference there, but unfortunately, not very long from now, within a year, anybody who wants to do what we do can fake it, and fake it very well with the help of machines. That's it. And that's a fact. I mean, and we've all been out in the woods a few times and had those, oh my God, moments, but I'm going to be very interested to see how the machines portray that. That's what I'm saying. I'll be very interested to see how the machines.
Scott brings up, have you guys heard the country music songs written by AI? Yes, and they're hilarious. They make no sense, but they're hilarious.
I heard one.
The one about waxing your balls was the funniest one. Oh God, I couldn't breathe. Gary Schuler, can I get an AI avatar to fill in for my work soon?
That's the only time it will be acceptable.
Angie said Donna said, Angie, maybe that's the point, to take the next generation's skills or skillless empty blobs, to make the next generation skillless empty blobs. Yeah. All you have to do is type in prompts and it'll make you good.
With the false pretense of, we're going to free up your time so you can create. Free up your time. Let me explain what that means to you. You don't have a job.
The AI is binge watching Battlestar, Terminator, The Matrix, Short Circuit, Star Trek, Picard.
Yep. It's learning what it needs to learn. You're exactly right.
Well, as long as it watches Short Circuit, I'm okay with that, because that means there's going to be at least some hope for humanity.
Oh, and Wally will be in there too, but it doesn't matter because you got all these other things that,
But I mean, yeah, it's something. And like you were saying, within a year's time, it's going to be very, very convincing. It's going to be hard to tell the difference, because it's already difficult. If you have a high resolution screen, that is the only way that you can catch this pretty quick right now. But eventually, once these things can render out smoothly in 4K, it's going to be insane. Because I watched the ad for that one. It was a content creation service. I watched it and I sent you guys the link over in the talk group a couple months back.
Yeah.
And I watched the entire 4.5-minute ad, and it wasn't till the very end when it said, "I'm actually an avatar,"
Right.
that I was like, "Oh my
Right.
God,
Right.
you've got to
And-
be kidding me."
And Donna, that's a very good question. And the answer to this is you wouldn't know. That's the answer.
That's why we need some free radicals out there in the debate system, so that way no one can guess what this guy's going to say.
But what I'm saying is, as far as it goes with, this machine or whoever's controlling the machine, whatever, making all those points, to get the control that it needs. I mean, we've already proven we'll share anything. It doesn't have to be true. So it's pretty easy to do. Sorry about that.
In another decade, how can we know? Yeah, it's going to be
exactly
so insane.
It's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's over as far as it goes.
Terry says the laser I run has AI that watches and listens as the machine cuts, and it will adjust the machine for the best cut.
That's useful AI. I want to make this really clear right now. I have no problem with AI tools. That means tools that actually don't do anything other than make your job just a little bit easier. They don't create. They just make sure that, this wheel is doing what it's supposed to be doing, or, this thing's not going to run off the track, or, it took me 2 hours to level all those audios in that clip. Now I can hit a button and make it happen just like that. That's not anything creative. That's simply a tool. And, I know people are going to be like, oh, but so is art. No, it's absolutely not. It is not a tool. Maybe at some point in the future, it might be, when it can actually create that without any other reference whatsoever, without any reference. Because how did you learn how to draw? Well, I learned how to draw from basics. I learned how to draw from stick figures and worked my way up. I didn't download all of humanity's art and then start ripping pieces of it. So that's where we get into that mess. And the same things happen with music. I know Tony had shared me a thing earlier this week with that, and that's insane. There's going to be multiple lawsuits coming out here really soon with that, and it's going to be good. I'm really welcoming that, because if they actually do eventually get someone who's brave enough to say, look, yeah, this is theft in either one of these, either in the art or in music or in writing. All we need is just one judge to step up and say, yeah, this is theft. Then the others will fall at that point. But we don't have that yet because there's too much money riding on this.
Yeah.
Big studios, they see a way that they do not have to pay actors. They see a way they do not have to pay grips. They don't have to pay special effects artists. They don't have to pay musicians. They don't have to pay camera people. It can all be done by a machine. And I'm talking within the next 5 years, you won't know the difference.
Yeah.
If it progresses the way that it has. Because we went from literally ink blot blobs 5 years ago to right now, where we can barely tell the difference in some of these things.
Yeah. We just you got to count teeth and look at where the location of the teeth are.
That's just right now. Give them another 5 years.
Oh, give them less than that. I'd say give them
I
a
know.
year and a half.
I'm being very...
Well, the finger situation fixed itself in a year.
It did.
The finger and toes and all that, it fixed itself in a year. Like it only took a year for them to get the fingers down. Now it's like the placements are disjointed and kind of weird occasionally, but there's only 10 fingers.
Yep. It will do some weird shadowy things. It's not very good with that yet. But again, give it time. It's learning.
Pat said self-aware AI is a problem and that will happen and we can't avoid.
We can't avoid it. We're on the collision course for that at this point.
Are we the successful AI though? Are we the self-aware AI? Are we recreating ourselves?
Yeah. That is a question for real. That is a very good question.
Miss Trackway says, plus science is boring because it tends to be incremental, redundant, and hedged. No sureties. How boring and verifiable is that? Donna Ho says all tools are useful until they were mishandled.
Yep.
Once they start lawsuits and hit them in their money, that's when things can start changing. Yeah, you're
Yep.
exactly right, Donna.
If they'll follow through. There's just so much riding on this.
Terry says the problem with science is consciousness. It don't mean they are right. Just all agree. So when when we're looking at this stuff, when you get down and you look into the nitty gritty, we are looking at the possible use of AI for simulation of these things. Data retrieval is going to be so difficult.
Oh yeah,
You're almost going to have to throw out most video and photo evidence that doesn't have some kind of metadata that is traceable,
or a verifiable witness.
Yeah, or a verifiable witness. And then you're going to have to throw out a lot of audio.
Oh yeah,
you're going to have to dismiss so much stuff. So is that while we're going back to terminology and research methods of the 1960s?
So you have to wonder about that, don't you? Because the road is going to get bumpy. We talked about this years ago. People laughed at us. Oh, you're being ridiculous. Oh, you're being paranoid. Well, we're here and we're not paranoid. This is it. This is happening at this point.
Tony said, as a musician, I have no tolerance for people using prompts to create music through AI. They're gutting the market and destroying the premise of music as a human expression.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they started doing that with art way before the music. Like digital art and sculpting.
The next thing, though, is what he's
music was the harder one to transition to because you have to make it. A lot of the early AI music was so dissonant, you couldn't. It was painful to listen to. But now it's there. It's the music prompt AI stuff is where the digital art AI stuff was 2 years ago.
AI is going to be the plan because there are so many people against it. AI is going to be the cell phone. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. In the beginning, believe it or not, everyone had things called landlines.
Yeah.
And they had multiple landlines sometimes in their houses, actually. Cell phones came along. And a few people grabbed them. They were the greatest things. They were expensive, but a few people still grabbed them. And then the companies looked at it and they said, we have to make these more affordable. We have to make these things more affordable. So they did. And still, other people didn't grab them yet. They weren't friendly enough. There wasn't an interface there that they could gravitate toward. Two of the main manufacturers stepped up to that plate. You have the Windows-based and you have the Mac-based.
Yep. You had your BlackBerry.
Yep. The
and
BlackBerry
your iPhone.
and your iPhone. Those were the two contenders. And that's still the same basic market shares right there. You've got basically the Windows side and the Apple side is what you got. And what that is, there's just a different ways that those people interface with the technology. So what they have to do now, and they're doing it, is figuring out a way to make you understand, look, AI is not going to hurt you. It's friendly. It's this. It can be your best buddy. It can be helpful. Well, back in the early days, we started with Siri. Remember that on the Apple side?
Yeah.
And
the personal assistant.
Right, the personal assistant. And I even remember thinking one day this is going to be AI driven. It's going to be actually useful. Back then, that would have been okay. But where we're at today, it's not. Because there are just too many things that can go wrong with this. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen by the end of the year, actually. They've already made, the plans for this, that literally your phone is going to become the enterprise. You're going to be able to ask this thing whatever, and it's going to say, oh, yeah, blah, 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 because they're actually, I guess, giving Siri some power at this point. That is terrifying. It's interesting. It's cool. It's fascinating on the scientific side, but it is absolutely terrifying because this is the equivalent of, in my opinion, handing a hand grenade to a cage full of monkeys. Pretty soon they're going to figure out how to pull that pin out.
Yeah.
That's where we're going with this. Now, that seems a little drastic, but I'm talking in a couple of years. Okay. We're going to hand you this thing now, but 10 years from now, watch what it does to society. Watch what that interaction now changes to. You think people are antisocial now? You ain't seen nothing.
Well, I mean, just look what it's done in 10 years. It's been
bingo.
It's been in the hand now since
Yeah.
2005,
But it doesn't
I
talk to
think,
you.
was when it came out. Now everybody went from walking around like all the time to now when they walk around, it's like this.
Yeah,
Even in the street, they walk around like this. Pedestrians getting mowed over.
Oh yeah,
Walking around like this.
Yeah. But just wait,
Yeah.
because now it's going to be able to actually emulate life itself. It's going to be able to emulate your best friend. It might be your best friend. This is where I'm getting at. This is where we're going with this. Like I said,
We've already got AI being people's girlfriends.
That's nothing because it's not really there yet. Wait till it can really be there. Wait till it can really emulate a human being, right down to how.
Well, I sent a video out to you guys recently. There was a synthetic self-repairing skin that has now been generated.
That's right.
And is being beta tested for, these robotic faces. And it's pretty interesting. It's weird, creepy stuff, but here we go. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Donna Ho said, Joe, just curious, as a former pastor, what's your opinion of the symbology of Revelation in terms of holograms and AI? What you just said, the symbology and the allegory is extremely prevalent in the book of Revelation. He wasn't talking about literal dragons and literal things for the most part. These were dreams and visions and representations. I don't think that it really, from a religious standpoint, has anything to do with the AI will have anything to do, say, with end time stuff, other than maybe causing it. But I don't think that they were related personally. I think that a lot of the symbology and allegory that was used by John the Revelator was has already come and passed, and there are things that have already occurred. There are, say, a few things that haven't clearly in the book of Revelation that have not occurred, but there's the majority of it. The crazy dragon, some of the crazy dragon stuff was talking about countries and empires and how they were coming in and doing things. I could literally sit and talk about this for days because I studied it extensively for years, but we're limited on time there. So that answer will have to do. I don't think it's going to have too much to do, honestly, with anybody who's intelligent enough to see through it at that point. But again, it goes down to people who are going to have to read and study for themselves. Show yourself.
Donna brings a good point, though. I mean, and it falls in. We could push this into AI. We could put this into one of those AIs that wants to take over the world, just like we just said a little bit ago. Use your fear against you. What are you afraid of? If it has the means to produce it, so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in that respect. Is what I'm getting at. You could do that.
It says they're already putting dedicated neural processing units, NPU, into computers for AI. That was the big thing this year at all the trade shows. Yeah, the first trade show I saw it pop up in, Pat, was the ASUS trade show. They gave a good 15-minute rundown, at minimum 15-minute rundown on the NPU that they were putting into their ASUS AI systems. Angie said, "What my phone has alternately told me it loves me and to go to hell, so that should be fun."
It's trying to figure it out. The baby's got to learn to use their words.
Larry Hose says synths.
Yeah, right. Synths.
Going back to your putting the AI in the flesh.
Yeah.
Pat said I need to play Fallout 4. I just dug it out of the box and I'm loading her up tonight, Pat. So that way I can play it.
I'm playing 76. Fajnot's going on right now. They got some really cool masks I've been trying to get, and the drop rate is ridiculously low this time for anyone playing. It's like a 2.3%, which is ludicrous.
Tony Breeden said Neuralink is an AI zombie apocalypse waiting to happen.
Yeah, it
Imagine
is.
being linked up to an
Mhm.
unaware or linked up and unaware that you're being fed a reality that doesn't
Doesn't
exist.
exist. Yeah. Well, it's the Matrix. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it literally is a real life Matrix kind of scenario.
Miss Trackway said, too bad. I could go for a dragon right now. Donna Ho said, thank you. That's very comforting. And Donna, if you ever have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. I still, even though I don't serve as a pastor anywhere, I still help people along their walk and through their journey that is life. And it's instead of being, of a pastoral agency in a church, I'm more kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi hiding out in the desert somewhere. And if you really want to find me, you can come out and, I might try to scare you off with some sand people noises, but I'm not too mean.
They patched 76 today.
76 today on PC to fix the
What?
drop rate.
He's just trying to get me to get Fallout for PC. That's all.
I think you'd like it, man. I like playing on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Puckwudgie Whisperer. A couple years ago, my ex sent me an ad for some AI thing that looked exactly like me. Same haircut and collar I had and pink hair at the time. And
Wow.
it was the same shade of pink.
Wow.
That's
terrifying. It's the word you're trying to grasp for there, Joe. Terrifying is the word. Little brains. Yeah. I think people need those. So I'm all for them growing little brains in laboratories at this point, because the regular size ones aren't working anymore. At least in a few people. I'm not despairing though. I see 26 of you people out there who are still here, and you're the ones. You understand.
Pat said, do it, Ron. Come to the dark side.
I got too many other things to do. Can't do that.
Larry Ho said, PC is not real gaming. It is when you have one of these somewhere hiding in a desk. Found it.
What'd you find?
This makes gaming on a PC a lot better. PC master.
No. No,
this is how the AI takes over.
No, they're just they're using it against you guys. Don't fall for it. Just don't do this. Don't fall for it.
But there's a lot going on right now, guys, and there's a lot to be wary of. There's a lot to take with a grain of salt. And there's a whole lot of stuff coming out right now. One of the latest pushes, again, it seems like they're trying to go after David Grush again.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, just where is his op-ed?
Yeah.
And why haven't we seen it?
Yeah. It makes me wonder about this book that Lou's going to be releasing.
Yeah. There's a good chance that his op-ed is in it.
He's been asked to show actually a few of the documentations, his DOSPR, for example, which he doesn't have to. He has every right not to, and it's no one else's business. Frankly, it doesn't matter. I mean, if he wants to write a book, he can write a book, and if he wants to get clearance for it, he can. If he wants to share you with that clearance, he can. He has a right to do that. The man doesn't owe us anything. I think that's important for people to understand. But he said, yeah, after the books is done, after it's out, sure, he'll do that. Well,
The
that's
pre-order's
kind
up
of,
for the book, by the way, if anybody's interested.
yeah, I've already got mine ordered. First day it went up, I was making sure. Because I got a feeling that book's going to change some things in ufology. Like there's going to be some doors kicked in.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And I can also tell you that you can expect a major retaliation probably against Lou. At this point.
Yeah.
And he's had a few so far, but I don't think it'll be anything like the public ridicule that they're going to try to put down on this guy.
It is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
What do you want to bet that they use AI to read his book super, super fast and give a summary so that way they can write these summaries out within the first like 8 hours of release?
Right. Well, I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And I think that's what they did with that paper that we were talking about as well. I think some people did exactly that, got a summary of it, and then they ran to press as fast as they could because that's what it's all about, beating the people with the story. You might notice when we do our stories here in the news, when we do the news, we might be a week late because we've tried to vet it out before anyone else. We've even pulled stories before and been like, no, we're not going to do that because that's not quite right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting, Tony. I know there's going to be, well, you heard it, the last sandwich. There's going to be some truths in there, and you're just going to have to look for them, I think. But is everything going to be true? I mean, maybe from his perspective. But then we have to wonder, what is true? And we go back into the whole Bob Lazar thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's quoting Bob these days, too. I like that. When Bob said, what was it? The aliens said that humans were containers for souls. Bob really didn't say that. That's one of the biggest misquotes that's out there. You can go watch that interview. He does say container, but that's all he said.
He says container. That's it.
That's it.
And he even expressly states it just said containers.
It just said containers. Yeah, exactly. And he also goes on further to say, now, is that true? I don't know, or something to that nature. I mean, he doesn't say, yep, they threw this document at me and every bit of it was 100% gospel. He's like, I don't know.
So what do you make of that? Because that's where everybody's going to start running with this real soon. They already have been, but it's going to, with the demon talk, that's going to be the big talk next.
What's that? Blue beam? No, I'm sorry. I did it too.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the container for souls.
I had to do that. Sorry. Tony will appreciate it. But you know what, Joe? Here's the thing about the container for souls thing. What's a soul?
Yeah.
It's more that that would be more honest, in my opinion. That would make more sense to me than anything I've heard. Just because what's a soul? Energy. As far as we think it's energy, right? We think it's energy.
Yeah.
When we've already said energy can't be created or destroyed. It just transfers, et cetera, et cetera. The we that's we moves on, et cetera. And then this we is no more. And a part survives. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about, it's kind of the same thing. So that would not surprise me if that were not true, that someone did, say, hey, yeah, the containers. That's a good way of putting it. Because if anyone has ever had Adam, I know you're here, had a conversation with any of this non-human intelligence, it's not like talking to you or me. It's not words. It's words, but it's not constructed words. It's
right.
Flashes and symbols. And if I say, what is a human to you? And all of a sudden I get container in my head, that can mean a lot of things, honestly. That
be a
you can
container
interpret
for
that.
harvestable organs. It could be
Whatever.
A container
Whatever. We don't know what that is. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're technically a waterproof suit, so
yeah,
they might not be waterproof.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities here.
I mean, we found out that at least that one race wasn't waterproof during signs.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, in an avatar kind of sense, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that could be what it's all about. The you that's you is something completely different.
Yeah.
You're just in this exoskeleton, so to speak.
That is not wrong.
No, so we really don't know. And like you said, we're going to keep hearing more of this too, unfortunately, because for whatever reason, we're still battling this. But the whole crypto terrestrial thing, I find it interesting that we're actually putting this into real conversations. That's hopeful.
Oh man. So what are you oh gosh.
Yeah.
Nephilim, check. Demons, check. Bluebeam, check. Soul containers, you guys are really hitting the satanic conspiracy bingo tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's the bad part. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be. And
Oh,
that's,
monoliths. Yeah. Did you see the monolith that appeared in Colorado today?
yeah. Yeah.
It
There's
looks
another
like
one.
somebody duct taped 2 sliding mirror doors
cannot
to a
wait.
metal jauntry. Just
can't
stuck it
wait
in the wilderness.
till more and more and more of them start showing up, because that's what it is. Monkey see, monkey do. It's just what we do, which is just wonderful. I love watching people do that.
Terry McCullough said ugly bags of mostly water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
AI started talking about the people it worked for and how it was tired of being yelled at by its programmers. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Angie said, I want a monolith. I hope someone leaves one in my yard.
I mean, it could happen. You never know.
I've seen stranger things.
I've seen, yeah. They're very strange things.
So we've got some stuff. Oh, well, Tony's keeping it going. Oh, Pat's in here. Approximately 16% of the population in America is of below average intelligence. That is about 51 million people. That scares me more than demons and aliens.
Wow,
100%
it should. It should.
Crypto terrestrials haven't been a real conversation topic since Richard Shaver's
Oh gosh, Darrow.
Darrow. Mac Tony recognized that a problem to a
That's
serious
problem.
discussion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you really want to go there, you want to find the father of the I guess the evil alien living in the mountains and eating people. There you go. That's the Darrow. That's that whole the Darrow Tarot, whatever it was, the whole theory of that. Yeah. So I guess you're right about that in a way, Tony.
Larry says a monolith in every yard.
That's a good campaign run. Right
LR
there.
said regarding monoliths, it's all fun and games until Hal starts locking the doors.
Until one falls over on you.
Oh man. The chat was awesome tonight. You all are real actual people, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I am.
That night we had 38,000 reactions. I'm not so sure about.
Yeah.
Other
Not
nights
sure about that.
subsequently.
Yeah. You guys got a better handle on that though, so that's good.
You can capture souls to help smart machines operate.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh man, so we've got some stuff coming up, guys. We're rounding out here, I think.
Get the round out
Where-
started.
Where we got to be here soon. We've got this weekend. We're going to be in Canton, Ohio, at the Monster Fest 2. And you guys can catch us there if you're part of the VIP event tomorrow. You'll be able to catch us there. We will be at. Give me 1 second. It'll bit.
Oh yeah, they did good on the reactions tonight. You guys did manageable reactions. Good job. Good job. 886 with a 576 chat message. But there was a lot of listening tonight, and we didn't do a lot of, of our normal storytelling, accounts sharing, and whatnot.
Got it.
And if I figured that out, then AI has already figured it out too. So it knows the patterns that we run the show on. So it can probably emulate us in about 2 weeks.
That's my guess.
Yep. Won't take much. Yeah, everybody, please hit that like, share, subscribe. We're just one sub away, by the way, from hitting another one of our little records that we like to have over here. And that would take us to 870 subscribers. I know, it's to us, that's pretty fantastic. That's, that's what, about 1,000 or so more than I ever thought we'd get. So
here we go. Here we go. Badoom.
oh yeah, there you go.
There we go. Monster Fest 2, June 28th and 29th. Braxton County Fair on August 2nd. Flatwoods Monster Con, September 14th. Mothman Festival, September 21st and 22nd. Thunder in the Mountains Powwow, October 12th and 13th. And Cryptid Con, November 22nd and 24th. Through the 24th.
Yeah.
Those are where you can catch us out on the road here soon. Do not engage the like buttons. No AI summaries tonight. Did the AI not like a certain part of the discussion, mayhaps?
I wonder, mayhaps that is what happened. That's pretty funny.
Man.
That is pretty funny. So yeah, definitely drop by the table there this weekend and say hi if you're down there in Canton. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a really good time. So I'm looking forward to it.
So Donna says, Puckwudgie Whisperer, I find the little people stories fascinating. The Puckwudgie Whisperer says there's more to them than it seems, Donna. Yes, that is.
Oh yeah.
I will agree with that.
Well,
everybody, if you're still hanging out with us, go check out Puckwudgie Whisperer's YouTube channel by the same name, the Puckwudgie Whisperer, and go ahead and give her a subscribe. She's producing content over on that side. She's got a show she started up to a while back, and then you can also catch her antics as she wanders about the New England swamps and forests looking for little people. Little hairy, angry people, to be more specific, but
yeah. What else was it we were doing? Can't remember. There was something else we were going to be at or something, but I don't remember it now. So I think that must be it. I'm sure it'll come to me at some point.
I hope that's all we're supposed to be at, because that's all I got for my calendar. If there's somewhere else you're supposed to be, whoopsie. Let's see. So definitely come hang out with us. The Monster Fest this weekend is going to be a blast. We're excited to come hang out with you guys. Hopefully a lot of you all show up. I know that several of you are going to be there. You've already reached out to us and told us you were coming. We're really excited to hang out with you there. It's always awesome getting the chance to spend time with you guys at shows. Then the next time that'll probably be the most accessible after this one is going to be Mothman.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one that draws them all.
Yeah.
And it's just huge. So definitely come out and stop by the table, hang out with us. It's going to be an absolute ball.
Yep. And then there will be CryptidCon. That'll be pretty big too.
Yep. CryptidCon's always a good turnout too. And that's going to be there in November. So you definitely want to check that out. For us, that show is like the last show of the year that we do. And it's been the last show of the year for the last several years. And we're super excited to be announced as guests again this year. It's awesome, when you've got the support from some of these shows out there that are excited that you're coming. We're not speaking this year, but they're just happy that we're going to be there. So it's really cool. Then let's see. Oh, the cult leader demands the crawler. Yeah, we got to get that crawler going out there. Give me a minute. This show is free thanks to our executive producers, Adam Good, L.W. Marshall, Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State, Larry Hose, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook, Lisa, Finding the Trackway, Tommy Swigger. Where's Tommy's working?
Tommy's not here.
Pat, Seth Beans Lamille, Small Town Monsters, Eyes in the Woods, Jamie Nelson. I don't know why I said Jamie Snell. It's James Nelson. And our amazing super chatters, Dewey Edwards, the Deuster himself, Spooky Appalachia, Guitar Chains Craig, Travis Rednick, Jeffrey Steele, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots, Bigfoot, Littlefoot, Terry Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey, Julie Bug, Donna Ho, Angie Breeden, Jen Clower, Jamie Snell, there he is, Ike the Fob Daddy Fobber, Ashley Hilt of On Wednesday We Talk Weird, and Lotus Flower. Oh, no, there's Wendy the Pooh Bear, and Ashley. That rounds us out, guys. Thank you guys for eons and eons to come. You guys are absolutely awesome. Donna Ho coming in hot.
Yep, that was Donna's.
Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank
you are awesome. Very much appreciated.
Keeping it very, very free, and we have some really cool stuff that we'll be showing you really soon
Yes.
because of that.
Yes.
Can't wait. Another secret, possibly. Yes, there's always secrets, but
Always something going on, man.
that's how it goes around here. It's called innovation and so forth. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a good time. Everybody's gonna be happy. I'm gonna
So
be happy.
So you guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting the show week in, week out. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We've got some driving to do tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And so I will be getting some rest here in a little bit. And Ron, I will see you tomorrow before we take off. And for everybody else, remember that you can always catch us here at Wild and Weird WV on YouTube. You can also report every sighting that you've had of anything, always, to wildandweirdwv.com. Just click on the report a sighting tab, fill out the cursory questionnaire, and then we will get back to you accordingly. We will also make sure that if we can't get into your general research area, if it's a case that can be looked at with boots on the ground, that we get somebody from your area to come in and do their due diligence. If you want to continue to support the show and help us out, just tell some friends about it. Anybody that you know beyond this initial group that hangs out with us every Thursday, spread the love. Tell them about it. Tell them that they should come hang out, that it's a very supportive community. It's a very fun community. We all have a really good time together. And and apparently remember.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Remember.
Yeah. So be sure to catch us here in a couple weeks. It'll be 2 weeks and a couple days, and our official drop for the Paranormal Horizons show.
That's right. Angie's
July
trying to
14th.
get it. She came up with multiple names for it. Exposures. I don't remember what else she said, but yeah, it's not Paranormal Exposures. Just to let you know, that's something completely different.
That's a completely different strip club down the road.
Yep.
It's your haunted strip club.
It's a whole different venture. So.
Yep, that's a new business idea.
Right.
So guys, remember, people will swim in the ocean, which is full of dead bodies, but they'll cringe and freak out as soon as there's a dead body floating in a pool. Stay wild and weird, everybody.
What the